Hey guys, Fourfinger here, and I think I finally found a way to make that new Amazon Ascendancy point, which is called Infused Weapon, do crazy amounts of damage, and you can proc it like 9 to 12 times per second and even more with higher investment, and I'll explain how everything blends together, but before we do that, let me just give you the requirements. You need a unique Red Flare Conduit chest, which is only tier 4 unique, so should be really easy to get. You just need shock burst rounds and potential support gems, those are like just gems, nothing crazy. You need Choir of the Storms, which is a unique that drops from Breach and Hesht. And then pretty much you wanna accuracy crit stack on this build, which is really simple because of the notables that we have on the Ascendancy. So with everything being said, how does this come together? The new Infused Weapon skill is pretty much making it so that once you consume a charge, that consumption gives you the infusion charges, which you can then use to proc the infused weapon to do the damage. So the whole point is to generate as many charges as we can, then consume them, and then with each next projectile attack, make the infused weapon proc. So let's just go how this happens in like terms of numbers. We do have a Red Flare Conduit. This has 20% chance to gain a power charge on hit, and if you attack 20 times per second with the shock burst rounds, which is really straightforward, you are looking at a 4 charges per second. So this is the way we generate the charges, and then we want to use the Choir of the Storm, which is providing us with the greater lightning bolt, and then you want to support it with potential, which is pretty much making it every time you crit, it's going to proc the lightning bolt, which is then going to consume the power charge, which is then going to give you the infusions that you can then proc with the shock burst rounds further on. So you can use one button for the entire build. And only downside of this is the cooldown, which is 0.5 seconds, and that's why we're gonna get Ingenuity support and some cooldown recovery on 3. I'll show you the thresholds afterwards. But if you get it to down, like, you can really easily get it to like 3 or 4 procs per second, you are looking at like 4 charges per second. If you consume like 3 per second, that's like 6 infusions. If you consume 4, then obviously it's going to be like 8 infusions. And then there's a final Ascendancy point at the end, which has 50% chance not to consume the infusions. And then you are looking at something from like 9 to 12 infusions per second. And like I said, everything happens with one button, because as you keep attacking with this, you generate charges, this keeps proccing, it consumes the charges, you are still attacking with this, so you are doing a ranged projectile attack, which is going to proc the infused weapon, and this is just, you know, ridiculous in terms of damage. And then to top it all off, not only is it a one button build, you can also scale the damage on this as well, on top of the infused weapon, because whenever you see the Greater Lightning proc, it has 100% more chance to shock, and even though we're not scaling spell damage or anything like that, with level 19 and some other support gems, you can make this like conduction and stuff like that. You can actually make this proc from time to time, and then even this ability will do damage. So the synergy is ridiculous. But with that being said, let me just show you the path of building and how it looks with the numbers. So if you just find a weapon which has a good attack speed roll, of course you can get way lower, it's not a big deal. Then you get the shock burst round, which has martial tempo. Let me just show you. Yep, you get the martial tempo support, and then all you need is 82% increased attack speed. You might be thinking that's a lot, but actually if you're stacking accuracy, that's nothing, because you're gonna get at least 10k accuracy if you're already accuracy stacking, and with 10k alone you're getting 40% attack speed. So reaching this is simple as hell. And then the important part is the server ticks and how does a cooldown recovery affect the Choir of the Storm. So let me just go back to Greater Lightning Bolt. The first like decent checkpoint that I would go for is 39% on top of the Ingenuity that you're already using. So this is already like kind of a must that you want to use. So if you add like 39% from the tree, which you can get like stuff, let me just show you where you can get it. You can get stuff like here, which is like 12, 5, 5, and you can get like 5 on the what's called the emeralds, or maybe on all of the jewels, but I think it might be only emeralds, which is 5 per one, so you can pretty much even maybe in the end game do stuff with the Adorned, but that's like whole other ballpark, we're just talking about lower budget. So with those like thresholds, you're either gonna get 60 or 39%, to be honest. With 39%, you can proc it like a little bit more than 3 times per second, and with the 60% one, it's almost 4 times per second. Like I said, you can scale this further down the road and get 87%, and then you're guaranteeing 4 charges being consumed per 1 second. Overall, I just think the synergy is crazy. Only thing that's left to do is just show you how it works in-game. And like I said, you only literally need this one button, which is gonna be a shock burst rounds. The only problem is I didn't scale crit. You would wanna get like as close to 100% crit, and I only have 18.4, and that's with inevitable critical. I just want to show you that it works. So we're gonna get like a few charges. Let me just get... Okay, so we have 2 charges. Now we just wanna see, okay, you see how it consumed one? That's because the Greater Lightning procced, and it activated potential, and this would in fact give us the infusions, and that's the whole point of the entire build. I think this is going to be crazy ridiculous in terms of damage, especially like once you get like really good weapon and you scale everything else. I just think this is going to be crazy. They're either going to wanna remove this chest or maybe make some kind of interaction to like stop this from happening. I just think this is really fun, and if they don't do it, this is going to delete bosses, like literally delete, and you can also do it for maps obviously, because the infused weapon notable also has decent radius, so it's going to help you crazy with the clear. You then get stuff like Herald of Ice, because when you consume power charges, I think you get cold infusions. Even though they will nerf Herald, it's still going to be really big damage and clear. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Drop down a comment, like, and feel free to hop on Discord to ask any questions. And I'll see you guys in the next one.